Hi everyone. Um, I had a lot of people asking me about how I get the images that I get for photo manipulations that I do. Now, first of all, I want to make very clear that I very nearly stopped doing photo manipulations and writing fan fiction altogether because I was starting to feel extremely guilty about the fan fiction and the photo manipulations that I do based purely out of respect for Mark and Jack. Um, I had an internal struggle with myself that I know that Jack said that he was okay with it as long as it didn't have gross, blatant, porn, disgusting stuff in it. I'm not sure if the photo manipulations that I do cross a line with that, and if you're unsure of what I mean, let me give you a real quick idea. This is the type of photo manipulations that I am speaking of directly. This is one of mine, and this is the finished product. Now, I by no means think this is disgusting or pornography or anything like that, but I personally don't know if something like this crosses a line that would disrespect Mark and Jack. Okay? Now, I've had requests through the roof, not only for me to continue updating my fan fiction, but also a lot of people were asking me how I get the images that I get for the photo manipulations. And I pull them straight from YouTube videos. Usually they're vlogs because I can get really great images of their faces. So I'm going to somewhat quickly show you how I do that. Now I'll take a vlog and I will go through the entire vlog looking for really good angles and different movements, different facial expressions, that type of thing. A lot of times I won't want to sit there and, because I've watched these so many times to get so many of the screenshots that I have, that I'll just kind of pop through them like this, or I will scroll through the bottom to see if I can find any type of head turn or animation that I think would work. Now, the main trick to doing photo manipulations of two people who are not even in the same room is being able to think ahead, and think about where their body positions are going to be. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's going to be anything in this vlog. This is just kind of funny to watch without the sound on. Oh, this is a shaved mark one. I don't know if I don't want to use shaved mark. I like scruffy mark, so I'm gonna find scruffy mark. Let's see. This is good mark. So hopefully, sorry if I just peeked out my mic. Hopefully we can get a good head turn or a side profile view. Because honestly, I had a lot of people asking me to come back and to do some more photo edits, and with the fan fiction that I'm writing, I do like to use my own edits in I do like to use my own edits, not only because the works, damn it, not only because the works are mine, okay, let's try this one. The writing is mine, and I really like the images that go with the story to be mine as well. So I take a screen cap, hit escape, I'm going to come down to paint, I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to save it. Now as you can see here, I have a metric ass ton of stuff saved. In a little bit I'm going to do a photo edit, a photo manipulation, just so I can give you guys a little bit of an inside view. I'm not going to show you the entire thing because they usually take between 2 and 4 hours to complete. I'm at 41, so let's make this one 42. But I will show you a little bit of how I get started, what I do, and how I get the images into hang on, what's this? See, I get sidetracked. I'm like ADD. I see something and then I can't talk and do something at the same time. Oh, see, this is a good one, and I can just edit out his hand. Okay, so let's take this one as well. Nope, I didn't paste it. Paste, there we go. And I'm gonna be able to show you guys how I choose the images that I use for the photo manipulations that I do, because if they're not lined up correctly, if they're not, they have to be. They have to line up in a way that is not going to make them look fake. Because one of the things that allows my edits to stand out more than most is the fact that they really will fool you. I cannot tell you how many hundreds of messages that I have gotten asking me, where did you find this? What video is this from? Did this really happen? Did they really kiss? And you know what? Let me show you just another quick example of my work. And I'm going to my DeviantArt because I don't have those images on this particular computer. Excuse me very much. I'm so sorry. So, as you can see, we have dark and anti, and another dark and anti image. These are the types of photo manipulations regulations that I am directly speaking of in this video. Now, this one here, I made this in a speed edit video, which you can find on my channel if you would like to see that one. And this is one of the ones that I've gotten tons of comments and replies, and people love it and they want to use it. And please, by all means, if you see any of my images and you like them and you want to download them, use them as your desktop background, as your phone background, if you want to use it for a fan fiction, if you want to use it for whatever you want, please, by all means, use it. That's what I make these for. I make these for you guys. These are not, you know, for my pleasure. I mean, I enjoy doing them just because I love editing photos, but I want you guys to do with these what you will. I only ask one thing in return, and that is, please don't ever steal my work. Don't take the credit for yourself. Just, hey man, photo editing belongs to Azarus, and I'm totally fine with that. If you want to republish this, say in, you know, like a fan fiction, or make a banner or something. Here's another one of my works. This is, you know, 110% completely edited. This is not real. So we just saw that one. This is another one. This was one of the very first ones that I had ever done, and this image got a lot of attention. And I mean, I started seeing this image everywhere I went on the internet that had anything to do with Mark, Jack, or Septiplier. And I really didn't want to have to start watermarking my works, because these are here for you guys to use. But when people started stealing them or saying that they made them, it really upset me. I mean, you don't know how much it touches me and makes me feel absolutely amazed when I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see somebody with one of my images as their profile picture. It's just like, that's what I do this for. I love it. I love it so much. But once again, just please don't use these and say that they are your own. This is one of my absolute favorites that I did, because of all of the little details that I added into this picture. If you look in the background, you can see a little Sam back here, and there are these are some of the things that I edited in that were on Jack's old shelf, and the little yarn guy from, oh god, what's the name? I can't remember the name of the video game that he played with the yarn, the little yarn kitty. And a lot of these things that are up here and in this picture are things that are directly related to Jack and Mark, even though I used a stock image of what was I guess considered a gamer's living room, and then I just kind of filled it with things that represent them, and of course them themselves. They were not at all in this image, and I made this based on my idea of what I thought home life would be like in a Mark and Jack type of relationship. As you can see, you know, there's a dual TV, gaming monitors, and things like that in here. This one I was messing around a little bit with textures, but as you can see, the placement of their faces and the angles of their heads are so very important when doing images like this. You know, like this one. I had to make sure if I wanted to use this photo of Jack and he was looking off to the right and looking up, that I had to use an image of Mark where he was looking down and to the left. And since we see more of Jack's face, I had to get more of the back side of Mark's head so the angle looked correct. Because if you don't get those angles right, it will not look real. In any way, shape, or form, it won't look real. So, that being said, I have, where is, here it is. I have a folder here with, these are 44 images that I grabbed today because I knew I was going to be doing a photo edit. Now, I can't stress enough how important it is to have a metric ass ton of images. And these images that I have, they look weird looking at them like this. But once I start editing them, that's when it comes to life. Okay, so if I want to use this picture in an edit, I'm going to have to make sure to use a picture of Mark, probably like this one. So if I do a side-by-side, where did that one go? We can kind of see how that would fit. Now, of course, I can do some moving, twisting, manipulating, and actually, I was originally going to go with, I think it was this one. I was just going to take this picture and kind of take out this blank space between them, considering they are looking right at one another, and all I would have to do would be to smush them together. But the more that I looked at these two together, I really think this would make a really good image. I'd have to do a little bit of manipulation with angles, with head angles, but I'm really digging that. Let's see, I also have this one, and let's see this side view, this angle, and it really does take a lot more than, you know, just throwing two pictures on in Photoshop. You really have to think about, you have to take time. I will sit there for an hour, 2 hours, and go through these, doing exactly this, seeing if they would, now see these two pictures, they would not line up well together. Even if I tilted Mark's entire body off to the right a bit, they just wouldn't mesh well together. But let's see if I have this one. So Mark is kind of looking down. I would need one with Jack looking up, and I don't have one in here right now because I usually don't work on this computer. I usually work on my computer. This is actually my work computer. Anyways, enough of that. Right now we're going to get into Photoshop, and we are going to play around with those two images that I opened up earlier, and I want to see how well they kind of mesh up with each other, and if they're going to fit well together.